Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Unicorns podcast with me, Ashwini Chube. And today with me is Neelam, my teammate, my friend, my soul
Hello,
sister.
everyone.
And Neelam is not just she's not just my teammate, she's not just a fellow seeker or someone, she's also someone who understands this path very deeply. She herself is very committed to her inner growth and peace. And if you are on my Unicorn University group, you know who is the one who sends these amazing messages. Neelam does that every morning. She is in a corporate job. She is working full time. She is a mom and she takes time out and she daily sends these powerful, magical messages. And Neelam, I'm so grateful to have you on Unicorn University and also here today.
Thank you.
And
I'm equally excited.
I know. And today, Neelam, I know you are here to hold this space with, clarity, curiosity, and compassion. And I'm so happy to explore today's topic with you because today's topic is very close to my heart because it comes straight out of my heart and straight out of my life's mission. I often talk about Swadharma, which is the reason why you are born. And today's topic it's very close to my heart because it not just connects me to my Swadharma, but it is also about where we are going as a earth or as a civilization, because we all are living in extraordinary times where there is so much progress happening, technology is growing, every day something new comes up in terms of technology. We see how AI is growing, how things are coming quickly, updations are happening so quick. But deep inside, there is also a lot of exhaustion. There is a lot of people are going through anxiety. Many people are disconnected from their inner self. And that's why I believe that today's world, it just does not need more success or more money or more technology. It also needs more healers, more genuine people who are here to make the world a better place. And when I say a better place, it's on, it's where people are more happier, where people would say, when we have conversations, na Neelam, people say that आजकल दुनिया बहुत बुरी है, things are very bad. I really feel that what if each one of us can change that narrative and make the world into a better place, right? And
Absolutely.
yeah, and Neelam, the vision which I'm holding this right now is by 2032 to have at least 1 million healers, 1 million conscious healers, as I would say. And this mission begins now.
Amazing.
Yes, thank you. And this mission begins now because in
Wow, amazing.
20 and in 2026 alone,
How does it get even better than this?
how does it get even better than this? And by 2026, my intention is to create at least 100 healers who heal themselves and naturally uplift others. Well, having said that, whom am I to heal others? But I would say I would like to be a catalyst to help people awaken, to guide them on this path of becoming a healer and make this world a better place. So today, this conversation is not just about information, but it's also deeply driven by genuine mission which I have in my heart. So Neelam, shuru kare. Let's start with today's
Absolutely.
topic.
I'm very excited. This was something which was in, my mind as well because
Yeah,
I truly believe the vision that you have, and that's why I'm part of Unicorn. That's why,
thank you.
we have been associated since so long. It was 2014 when I
Yes.
had met you. Like it's like 12 years now, and
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my God, I
and our
can't believe it.
friendship, it has grown.
It has blossomed.
Yeah, it has blossomed so much, so well. And I feel so blessed to have you in my journey, personally, professionally,
And same here.
everywhere, because you have given this beautiful platform to this universe, unicorn platform. It's so beautiful. We can express ourselves. All those beautiful messages that you see on the group, those are actually driven by your vision. And I always feel that if these messages can heal me, these messages can heal the people in the group, group as well. That's why I share it with the wider people over the
Thank
group,
you.
and the group was created by you. So it's your creation, your vision that I'm living with. And thank you so much for that. So
Thank you,
today's
Neelam.
topic, again, very important, very crucial in these times, because we are living in an atmosphere which is uh, so much stressed, because
Yeah,
there is a lot of fear mongering. Oh, do we need
sure.
more leaders? Do we need more doctors? Do we need, so yes, we need leaders, where
Yeah,
yes, we need doctors, yes, we need thinkers, but the most important thing in these stressful time is the we need healers. And
yeah,
thanks for bringing that to the to the world, because unless and until we start working in this direction, this will not happen. So I am with you on this mission, and
thank
with
you.
this thought, we begin today's podcast. So just wanted to bring it as the first point of my question, Dr.
Yeah,
Ashwini. you know uh, there's so much happening in this world, and I'm not talking about only the negative things or only the war and fear mongering that is going on,
right,
but there is lot of disruptions in every area of life.
right.
And why do you think that we need more healers
Let's
for
do.
that?
Absolutely. So, Neelam, this question is so important because I'm sure just like you and I are thinking of this, there is everyone who is listening to this podcast is also thinking of it. So, when I look at the world today, I just don't see crisis. Okay. I also see there is a lot of unhealed pain which is expressing itself everywhere. Okay. So when we see crisis, when we see, like, especially when we talk about the negative things, when I see crisis, there is unhealed pain, there is unmet emotions, there are people who are going through pain. So why are the negative things happening in the world? Why do negative things happen at all? The first reason for negative things to happen is because there are so many people who have undergone pain, and when people are hurt and they don't know how to express it, they create more negativity in the world. That's how that's how the things go. So there is unhealed pain expressing itself everywhere in terms of the negativity. People are successful yet empty, right? People are connected digitally. We are just each other's, just a text away, just a call away, yet people are lonely. And people are informed also. I see people are surrounded by people. There are people who say that I meet people, I meet women who come for sessions to me, and they say, I live in a joint family, I have everyone around me, I have my house is full, I have two children, I have parents, I have in-laws, but I feel lonely, I don't have anyone to talk to, no one understands me. So people are connected yet they are lonely, they are informed yet disconnected from themselves. And over the last few decades, as we have grown technologically, we have focused on say external solutions, and growing in terms of money, growing in terms of economy, which is of course needed, I do not say that it's not needed, but what has happened is now the current problems which are happening in the world are deeply rooted in the inner wounds, okay, which is unresolved fear, unresolved trauma, okay, which trauma which people go through, which stays in them until they don't know how to express it, and then it comes out at something else. Like they say, na, when you are cut by someone else, you bleed on someone else. You don't bleed on the ones who cut you, but that's how you keep on transferring pain. And there is also a lot of people are struggling with lack of self worth, and most important, people are disconnected from purpose. And this is, I think, a very serious thing which people are not aware of, because most of us are just, they say, na, you're running very fast, but we do not know the direction in which we are running. There are not many of us who really know what is the reason for our existence. Now, to come to this is, this is exactly what is happening currently. And because you asked that, Ashwini, why do we need healers? Like a very simple question: why do we need healers? And what are healers basically? Now, why we need healers is because through healing we create conscious humans. Okay, and conscious
Hmm.
humans, make different choices than the ones who are not conscious. And what kind of different choices? They make different choices in families, in leadership, in business, and of course in the society, right? So people who are healed, people who are conscious, they behave differently than the ones who are not conscious. And when I mean being a healer, it's not about fixing what is broken. It's about remembering who we are beneath the pain, because each one of us goes through pain. Each one of us goes through, trouble times. We all have different situations in our life where something happened with us which was not right. Like, for example, because I'm telling you from based on, I meet people every day. I know people who are really kind, genuine people, but for some reason, out of some little thing, things blow up and things go to such a level that relationships break. People get so negative thoughts. People are anxious. There is so much going on, and the root of it is because somewhere people are completely disconnected from their own selves and their purpose. Okay, why do you get up every day for? Neelam, this is what I ask every time when people come for sessions with me. I tell someone that imagine I will put 10 lakh rupees in your account, or say the universe will put 10 lakh rupees in your account on the first day of every month. Okay, so you don't have to worry about money. What will you choose to do? And when I think of this question, I say that okay, I will do this work more. Maybe I will travel to other places and I will conduct my workshops and sessions in other cities and help people in that. And I will maybe take up more venues. Maybe I will buy my own space where I can do healing for a bigger batch of people. I think of all of that. But I was very surprised when I asked one lady, what will you do if you get 10 lakhs every first day of every month? The answer she gave me was, Ashwini, I will sleep. She was tired. Okay, she was like, Ashwini, I'm running around. I have two children. We are already, running for our children's education. There is so much, and I'm in a full-time job. My husband is in a full-time job. I have to take care of kids. I have to take care of, because tomorrow their further education is there. So I told her, okay, so I'll put this in a different way. Okay, you have all the money, your children are being taken care of, there is help available, everything is getting done, and you have slept so well that you are fresh now. What would you do? And she just went blank and she said, I really don't know what I will do. Okay. So she said, my whole identity, I have put it around the job I have to do, not because I
Yeah,
like to do that job, but because I have to. And all of a sudden, if all my needs are met, I don't know what to do.
yeah.
And
This is
that
so
is what,
so relatable.
yeah, and that is because we were taught to only survive. Survival ke aage we didn't know, right? Survival ke aage kya karna hai, we didn't know. We just want to, right now, everyone is just struggling with survival. And they are saying, things like, okay, I want to just be in that space where I don't have to worry about everything, because their whole identity is around the worry they are dealing with. Also because people have undergone so much. I meet women and men both, who have gone through something, and now they say that, my whole identity is now around that trauma, that I don't know what would I be without that thing. Maybe something didn't work out. We see a lot of relationships falling apart after 10 years, 15 years of marriage. People are, getting separated, and they are going through a lot of turbulence in personal life. Professionally, there is so much happening. And if I had to just say one thing, I would tell them that sit and heal yourself first, because that is how my journey began. I first went into this field of because I wanted to heal myself, not because I wanted to become a healer. So the first thing I tell everyone is, why do we need healers? We need each and every person to first heal themselves. And when you heal yourself, automatically you start spreading that light to others. It's a natural progression which happens.
Very
So,
true.
yeah, so if you ask me why we need healers, the world I think really needs healers, and it's high time. Like it's like we needed it yesterday. In corporate we often use that. This It's so urgent that you have to do it. The deadline was yesterday. I think it's the same with having more healers. what is the deadline? It was yesterday. So it's high time we start choosing more and more people choosing to not just heal themselves but also the world. And I always say that the first step is healing yourself, and that's the natural progression which happens. First step is you heal yourself, then you heal your family and your, your the closer circle, your family, your friends, your kids, spouse, parents, the immediate family. And then slowly the natural progression is that then it starts to extend to the world, to the people around you. And then we also say we heal countries, and we do healing for countries, we do healing for lands, we do healing for cities, and we do healing for mother earth finally.
Yeah. So yeah, so coming, you quoted an example of a corporate world, where we needed the healers yesterday and deadline and
Yeah,
all. So we
yeah,
have been living in this world, Ashwini. I know you from the days of the investment banking. We used to
yes.
work together.
Yes, when we work together.
Yeah. So though I'm still in the corporate world, but my entire perspective has changed since then.
Of course,
And
of course.
I want to so I want people to know about your journey, why and how
Yes,
it all began in your life,
yes,
and
yes.
how you became Ashwini, from Ashwini, the investment banker, to Dr. Ashwini,
Ashwini
the
Chube, the
healer, the
journey.
spiritual. Yeah. So
Teacher,
I just
yes.
wanted to,
Yeah.
so I just want to
So
understand that.
thank you for asking that, because I'm sure not many people on the podcast might be knowing about this journey. Because when I talk to my students, they say, "Hey, आप corporate में थे? Really? Are you were in corporate? You were in corporate?" That's what many people ask. I was like, "Yeah, I was." Now it's been 10 years. We will complete 10 years of Unicorn Insight. So it's been 11 years ago I was in corporate. So it's like
Yeah.
a long time now. But yeah, and that's where me and Neelam met. We were colleagues. We worked together at one point of time. And I think among all the people in that office, I think me and Neelam, we connected on a very different level. We used to go in our team parties and we used to just talk with each other. We were not concerned with what's going on, kya ho raha hai. We developed a very deep friendship since those days. And although we have lived in different cities, like, Neelam has been living in Delhi, I live in Mumbai, but we have still have that beautiful bond with each other. So, Neelam, so that's where I know Neelam from. So about my journey, yes, I completed my MBA finance just like everyone else, and I started working in the field of finance. I was very passionate about working in the field of finance. Like, I remember during my final year of MBA, I had told my all of my colleagues, that all of my classmates, that I want to work in finance and I will work till I'm 60 and I will retire with a big fat check. That's what I want to do. मुझे और कुछ नहीं करना है, मुझे ना खुद का कुछ करना है. I used to always say that, and I'm sure God was laughing. ऊपर बैठे थे भगवान हंस रहे थे, I'm sure. So on paper I had that investment banking job, a good paycheck, and I was living in a very I was living a good life. I was living with my parents, and I always say I had a very good childhood, so I was pampered and the youngest child of the family. तो कभी किसी चीज की कमी नहीं थी. I had a very good, safe childhood, happy childhood. But internally, around 2011, 2012, I realized that something was not aligned. I used to feel always that कि क्या मैं लाइफ में क्या है, बस ऑफिस जाना, घर आना, और कुछ नहीं है, मुझे टाइम भी नहीं मिलता है. And at times I used to judge myself. I used to feel, am I being very dramatic? People tell you ना कि अरे
A
सब
lot of
ठीक
people feel that.
सब ठीक चल रहा है तो क्यों ड्रामा कर रही है. There is nothing wrong with you. But there was a quiet voice inside of me which was always saying that, is that all? Or is there a deeper purpose? I used to always think कि what is my contribution to the world? I used to always feel that when I would see people doing stuff, when people you were doing things which, they were working on some missions, and I would see that, I would be like, मैं क्या कर रही हूँ? I'm just working in a job. I'm just taking a paycheck and spending time on vacations and dinners and wearing good outfits, and which of course I still do, and I'm not against spending time with loved ones and spending time doing things and buying things you love. Of course, now I don't buy as much things as I would buy then. My the way I live my life has also changed a lot. But my healing began when I stopped running from that question because I just used to feel ki kya hai? What is it? And then that was a time around 2013 14 was when I met my Reiki master. So I always talk about this, this time where I used to be stressed all the time at work, and on weekends I used to just sleep and relax. And there were little things which would bother me. And people tell you, this is the way adult life is supposed to be. आपको जो चाहिए नहीं मिलता है, and all of that stuff was, kept coming to me, and I was somewhere not happy with the kind of life I was living, and was like, this is not what it is supposed to be. So at one point of time, I was just drawn to learn Reiki. And that the only reason I wanted to learn Reiki that time, Neelam, was because I was fed up of what was going on in my life. And I was fed up of, I say things like, little things like, they seem little when I look at it from a corporate space. But as a coach today, I feel that was huge. You go through things like people bullying you for no reason. Um, uh, People being unkind to you for no reason. And I'm not just talking about corporate life, even people in your friend circle, in your extended family. And I used to not like those things, and I would be like, this is not the way a person is supposed to feel, right? Negativity was considered very normal, and it is normalized with a lot of people, and that's the reason people have a lot of problems right now. So I went to my Reiki teacher because I told her that I don't know what's happening with me, but I perpetually feel fearful, worried, afraid, and I feel so worried about the uncertain future, and I'm so worried about how things are. मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है मैं क्या करूं. Okay. And at one point of time, I started that healing journey. I started healing myself. I started healing my friends and family. And that's how the whole, journey progressed, because I realized at some point of time that as I healed my patterns, and which was need for validation, which was a very key pattern in my life. I always felt that people should appreciate me, where until they appreciate, I would feel that I'm not good enough. And from there, over identification with achievement, which is
Yeah.
something I'm still working with, because there are times where you feel that, oh, I have not achieved enough, which is a very common wound for most of us. And then that was a time I started realizing that my true calling was not in finance. Not that I was good at it, I was decently good at it, I was doing well. But that was not why I have taken birth for. Like, that's not my Swadharma. As I look back and see now, that's not my Swadharma. And I would rather, my calling is more working with people, and it is more with, healing people and helping people through the work I do. So of course, walking away from that identity was terrifying, not just for me, but for my family. Like, my mother used to be worried all the time, and she would say that, what are you even doing? I'm just worried for you. Will you make enough money? And
Hmm.
from that place to actually starting from scratch, and every time you do something new, at that point of time, this whole concept of being a healer did not exist. I think I was among the very few people would not even know. Like today, if
Yeah.
we think in 2026, Instagram and YouTube is flooded with healers and their content, right? It's very common to be a healer. Everyone understands now. But at that point of time,
Yeah.
no one knew. The closest thing I could explain people was that I am a soft skills trainer, because I help
Yeah.
people with stress management. And that's how I started, because you can't speak Apple language to orange people, right? It's just like that. So I used to say that I'm a soft skills trainer. I help people with stress management. I used to go to corporates, and I used to tell them that I can help your team with stress management. I have been there, done that. And with my meditations and sessions, and I did corporate trainings. I remember the first couple of them, they did not pay me at all. Then at one point of time, people started paying me as low as 2,000 and 3,000. And at one point of time where I felt I was doing decently okay, they were paying me at least 15 to 20,000. That was how I started, as low as that. And doing sessions for groups of people, which would include sometimes 60 and 80 and 100 employees. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. But Everyone was concerned. And like I said, walking away from that identity, when we quit a job, we don't just quit the money. Okay, we also quit an identity. That's why it's so difficult for people to leave a toxic job, because they feel that if I leave
Yeah.
a job, what will my identity be? Right? And then I realized that leaving that job was more of choosing alignment over approval. Okay, because I was aligning with who I truly was. And eventually I realized that, and Neelam, initially when I learned, I did not want to become a professional healer, like not at all, because I meet so many students who tell me that I want to learn healing, but I want to learn for myself. I don't want to make money out of it. And two things come from here. One is people fear that uh, asking money as a healer is, people fear about that. And the second thing is people are afraid that will this profession give them money. But when I started
Yeah.
to, I did not want to be a professional healer. When I still remember, I was doing my Reiki master's training with my teacher. Okay, it was the final level, the master teacher level, and she was teaching me how to do it. And she finished teaching, you know, and I was looking at her and I told her, I don't think I will be teaching Reiki to anyone. I think I'm just learning it for myself. And she just smiled and she said, Ash, let time decide, na that. You just learn and practice. And I said, yeah, it's very interesting, but I don't think I will be able to teach. Baap re, itna complicated hai. मैं कैसे सिखाऊंगी, and who will learn from me? That was the another thing which I thought at that time. So at one point of time, like initially healing myself, working with myself, I started attracting people who started telling me, Ashwini, मुझे इसमें बताओ. And Neelam, I always had that personality. Now, this is what my mother always told me, that यू ऑलवेज हैड द पर्सनैलिटी. कॉलेज में किसी का ब्रेकअप हो गया, तुमसे बात करके तुम उनकी काउंसलिंग करती थी. उसके बाद में आफ्टर यू स्टार्टेड वर्किंग, किसी के मदर इन लॉ के साथ उसका झगड़ा हो गया, दे वुड कॉल मी एंड आई वुड जस्ट काउंसिल देम एंड ऑल ऑफ इट, प्यार से, एंड दे वुड फील बेटर.
Because this was your Swadharma. You did not realize at that point.
Exactly. I did not realize that. And my mother too, at a very later point of time, initially even she was very afraid that will this work. But during the lockdown, she saw that how many people needed that work. And my mother also learned Reiki at some point of time from me. And she said that, you were always like that. And now I look back and see my mother was always like that. And she also tells me my nanny was like that. So she was like my nanny in those days. She used to be the unpaid therapist to everyone. वो पूरे जितने वो मोहल्ले के लोग थे मेरे नानी के पास आते थे to talk about their problems, and she would guide them. So somewhere I think it was, um, I mean, even through family and as a Swadharma, it was a part of my identity. So I realized at one point of time that I was meant to guide others. And that was the time my old personality of an investment banker was I just quit that completely. And I walked into this because this was what I was meant to do. And Neelam, truly success started coming to me even without planning, you know. Like I did not initially I did not mean to really become, like a healer with many clients or nothing. I was just having fun. But and then people started asking me कि how do you do that यार अश्विनी कैसे किया आपने. मेरे पास तो कोई clients नहीं थे. And I was like, I really don't know. But then I realized that that was because I was just being me, and I was following what I was destined to do, what I
Yeah.
was here to do. So my journey, like I always say, right from that time, and I always talk about Bali trip, Neelam. You must have heard about it, right? That I was in Bali in 2012, where in 2012 I was going through this really very challenging time where I was not understanding what is going on. And I was so fed up of everything. I took a trip to Bali with my sister. I still remember there was one point of time in Bali where I was at one particular place, which is a place called Ubud in Bali. And there is a beautiful place called a monkey forest. Okay. And from that monkey forest, you walk towards Ubud. And from there are beautiful cafes. Bali has a very different vibe, especially Ubud has a very different vibe. And I still remember I was sitting in the coffee shop, me and my sister, and we were just not doing anything. We were sitting and having coffee. And I think something changed at that point of time. When I came back to India, um, two things happened. First was I started feeling that कुछ तो change होने वाला है अभी. Okay. And the second thing happened is within a very short time, I met my Reiki teacher. Okay. I met my Reiki teacher, and I always believe that it was not a coincidence that how series of events led me to her, and how I consider myself really lucky to have, good mentors and good teachers, because I'm who today I am because of their, teachings and their blessings and all of that. So around that time, this whole process started, and over the next 3 years, it continued to grow. Eventually, by 2015, I had quit my job and I started as a healer full time, not knowing, going in unknown, uncharted territories, as they say. And yeah, that was how my journey began, from investment banker Ashwini Chube to spiritual teacher Dr. Ashwini Chube.
Very nice, beautiful journey. And I'm a witness to that.
Yes,
Okay. So that makes me, think that can anybody become a healer? I mean,
yeah,
from your journey, from my,
yes,
association with you, because I
yes,
have also gone through all those phases, and unless
true,
and until some blows that were there on direct on my face, I realized that the world needs healers. But if
absolutely.
I talk about, and people come to us for advice, they want to
Yeah,
know more about healing, and they intuitively feel that okay, this is the person who can guide me through.
yeah, yeah,
But you know I and they have this thing in their mind when I tell them that okay, you can learn reiki and you
yeah.
can become a reiki healer, then they ask the same question कि करना क्यों है? क्या हम बन सकते हैं? अच्छा, कोई भी
Mm,
कर सकता है ये. So
mm.
I wanted to hear it out from you.
Sure,
So
sure.
can anybody become a healer, Ashwini?
Yes. So my answer to that is yes, but I'm going to elaborate on that a bit before people hear a straight yes or a no. So, taking you back to my journey, the reason I decided to teach this to others, because I thought if this thing works out for me, I will share it with the world, was what I thought. Okay. Because for me, I was in a place, and I was for a very long time in a place where I was feeling miserable, pathetic. I was feeling not good. एंड देन आई फेल्ट
Hmm.
दैट अरे इसका मतलब ये सब करने के बाद आपको अच्छा लग सकता है, बिकॉज आई ऑलवेज से देर इज लाइफ बियॉन्ड सैडनेस, देर इज लाइफ बियॉन्ड हार्ट ब्रेक, देर इज लाइफ बियॉन्ड ग्रीफ, देर इज लाइफ बियॉन्ड sorrow. And these words, as I say, I'm not just saying for the heck of it. I'm sure someone who says this is because we have gone through that. We all have gone through all of it. But I know some of us, we feel that एक बार कुछ something happens to you, उधर ही आप रह जाते हो. नहीं, there is life beyond that. And I told myself and I told God that भगवान जी, अगर मैं इससे बाहर आ सकती हूँ और मैं हील कर सकती हूँ, I will share this with everyone so that no one suffers. Was the reason I decided to become a teacher. Okay. And they say that the final stage of healing is when you use what happened to you to help others. Right. And I think that is where most of us who are healers are. Many people feel, na, you are so positive because your life is easy. No, but I think we all have gone through the darkest times,
Yeah.
and we've chosen to rise beyond that. We have seen, we have lost loved ones, we have seen heartbreaks, we have seen loss of jobs, we have seen, all of it. But what we choose to do after that is we choose to heal. And that also, I always say, like, I'm going to also talk about how healing doesn't happen in isolation and the power of a healing community. But before that, what I want to say here is, to answer your question, can everybody be a healer? So people believe कि healing मतलब कुछ special power होती है. ओके,
Hmm.
थोड़े लोगों के पास ही आती है ये इंट्यूजन. लाइक पीपल आस्क माय सिस्टर, ये इनको इंट्यूजन कब से आ रहा है, ये कब से हो रहा था, जैसे कि कोई सर्दी जुकाम बीमारी है. बट basically I feel each one of us are gifted with intuition. I chose to develop that muscle, just like when we go to the gym and daily do 100 push-ups and dumbbells and all of that. We train our muscles, right? When my trainer makes me do 100 and 200 dumbbells and I tell her that अरे बाबा बस बहुत हो गया, what is she doing to me? She is training my muscles to hold that weight. Similarly, I think as a healer, if we develop those skills, we all can heal. So healing is our natural state, Neelam. Okay, it's not a special power reserved for a few. It is for everyone.
Yeah.
आप मानो या ना मानो, whether you believe it or not. Every human being has, presence, compassion, and a deep awareness within them. Okay? And that is what healing energy is. Healing energy kya hai? Your presence, your awareness to see what is actually there, and your compassion to go beyond that. Right? That is a natural thing with humans, but some of us have just forgotten this. Like now, Neelam, you are a mother. When you listen deeply to your son, or where someone holds space without judgment, where um when you listen, like you and I, when we talk to each other, and when you are holding space for me, right, without judgment, just listening to me, or when you speak the truth with love, all of this is healing. Healing, many people think that healing matlab sirf, a person is lying on a healing table and you are channeling energy through it. No, that's one form of healing. But healing is also talking and listening and holding space with compassion. Sometimes when someone just tells you that no matter what happens, I am with you, you also feel healed, right? So the problem is that the problem is not that people cannot heal, but the problem is that most people have forgotten that they have this power within them. Okay. And why, if you ask me, can everybody be a healer? Then, many times I tell people, why don't you learn? Because, people keep coming to me for sessions, and I'm very happy to give them the sessions. But I also tell people sometimes that maybe, I'm traveling, I'm not in town, or I'm busy in other sessions. I tell them, you learn yourself so you can do it yourself. You don't have to be dependent on me. Because we also see in today's world, people say, ha, healer. I know this, I heard this from a friend who is a medical doctor, and she also is a healer. So she said that there was a time where patients used to keep coming back to me again and again for the same issue. And I said that if I'm a good doctor, this is what my friend said, that they shouldn't keep coming back to me, right? And her colleagues used to tell her कि अरे नहीं, that's how you build patience ना, बार बार आपके पास आएंगे तभी आपका pocket बनेगा, तभी you will get money. But she said that she is a core healer from inside, and she said this is not. I want to help people heal from their root cause, and that's why she started learning these techniques, and now she's also a healer. So I always say that as a spiritual teacher, my mission is not to create dependency on me. वरना मैं तो वो कर सकती हूँ ना कि आप मेरे पास आते जाओ, मुझे पैसा देते जाओ. But that's not what the mission is. The mission is to awaken people to find their own inner healer inside. And that is where I feel deeply driven by the fact that what if everyone can heal themselves? What if they don't have to
Yeah.
depend on me, or for that matter, any other healer? And in the golden future, my teacher Diana Cooper, she's written a beautiful book on the golden future, where everyone will be able to have their tap their own healing abilities, right? Rather than being dependent
Wow.
on healers or doctors or hospitals, because people create a dependency, right? When we talk about always consulting a doctor and always going to a doctor, we are creating dependency. What if we have a world where, with the prevention itself, disease can be averted, and you don't have to go to doctors anymore, or you don't even have to go to healer anymore because you are a healer? Imagine every person on this earth becomes a healer. What will happen? Will that be not beautiful? Right? So the whole idea here is, yes, everyone can be a healer if you have an open mind and if you are ready to take the right actions. I always say that um, you can develop these skills. We are born with skills, but we have forgotten them. How about building them again? Like I said, that when you do 100 dumbbells, and when you do 100 push-ups, and whatever it is, 500 ye 500 wo, you are training the physical muscles. So now if you have to, for me that used to be my challenge, matlab, when you are on a flight, सामान को ऊपर ऊपरी कक्ष पे रखना and then removing it. But
Mhm.
and then if you have good muscles, you can do that, right? So everyone has that. But if you daily do gymming, you can take that out easily, right? Otherwise, you don't have the strength to do it. Similarly, you have
Yeah.
that healing power inside of you. Each one of us has that. It's about, it's up to us if we want to develop it or we don't want to. It's nothing that only gifted people are healers. So this is, I tell my clients कि अगर आपको कोई हीलर बोल रहा है कि आई एम द ओनली गिफ्टेड वन और मैं ही आपको बता सकता हूँ आपकी जिंदगी में क्या करना है, be aware of such people, because even you will have that basic understanding, you will have that basic awareness. And then no one will also be able to deceive you, because हम blindly लोगों को trust करते हैं जब हम खुद के साथ disconnected होते हैं. The moment you are disconnect, but the moment you are connected with yourself, the moment your awareness is, active, you will know whom to trust, who will not to. You will not trust people blindly. You will use your awareness. And a lot of
Absolutely.
people, like I know recently someone told me that something wrong happened with her, and kuch cheating hui and something happened. So she was like, Ashwini, the problem with me is because she spoke about it to her another friend. And she said that her friend was telling her that don't trust people. And she said that, me and my friend, we both are two different personalities. She trusts everyone. She doesn't trust anyone at all. And I trust everyone blindly. Now, Ashwini, tell me who is right. I said, see, no one is right or wrong here. But here we are living in the extremes. Trusting everybody, not good. Not trusting everybody, again, not good. Use your awareness. And then the
Yeah.
next question was, how do I develop my awareness? And these are some of the things which when you train that muscle, you develop your awareness. Because yeah, you all have that within you. You just have to learn the tools, techniques, and most important, practice. I tell people when, Neelam, when people do workshops with me, I tell them that जो मैंने सिखाया है वो practice करो, तभी it will work. Because people come for the workshops, they learn it, they love it, they have a good time. They say, यार अश्विनी ये 4 दिन 5 दिन कैसे गए पता नहीं चला. I loved the class, and I never had a negative thought. And they said that after 1 month I went back to my world, and I went back to my reality. I said, you went back to that reality because you're not using the tools. The
Yeah.
classes are not just one time learning, they are lifetime lessons. I have my drawer full of books. I still go back to my Reiki level 1 notes, something I learned in 2013. I still keep reading. I still keep reading. I have so much. अभी मुझे नया कबर्ड बनाना पड़ेगा, इतने कोर्सेज का मटेरियल है, बट I keep referring to that. And I mean, I genuinely refer to it. I'm not just saying it for the, for the camera or for the podcast. Because if you want to heal, you have to keep doing that all the time. You have to
Hmm.
keep doing that all the time. It's like taking baths.
Okay. Yes.
कल
So
नहाई थी,
yeah, so
आज
that
नहीं नहाऊं.
yeah, so that is also, what was coming to my mind, that to heal others, that means you have to heal yourself. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the biggest myths, Neelam, which healers have, or which people in general have, is I am not fully healed. How can I heal others? Okay. So many people tell me that I first need to heal myself, only then I will be able to heal others. And I said, that's how the journey is. You first heal yourself, but at the same time, you can be a work in progress and you can also help others. That's where I
yes,
am. I'm not 100% healed. I don't say
yeah.
that I'm perfect and my life is perfect. There are ups and downs happen. There are days where I feel sad. There are days where there are things which happen to me make me feel bad. But I sit with that. I consult my teachers, I consult my mentors, and I make sure I come back to zero. I say the point zero is where you are, you have healed the negative emotions and you are there to create something, more positive in your life. So healing is not a destination. Many people think healing is a destination. एक बार पहुंच गए तो मुझे एक बार एक one there was a very elderly gentleman. I was in one of the those places where you have stalls. I used to do that a lot earlier. Go to stalls and put my tarot card shop, and I used to do readings for it. I don't do that anymore because that takes up a lot of energy as well. So I remember I had maybe cut my finger or something, and I had put a band-aid around my finger, and I was doing that reading, and one very elderly uncle and aunt had come down, and he said, देखो ये लड़की देखो अपने आप को हीलर कहती है, पहले खुद की उंगली का काटा हुआ कर लो. And I became so upset. I was just newly into this world. And I went into that whole wrongness that, oh my God, if there is something wrong with, people ask me questions like, Yashwini, your life is not perfect. So how can you teach others to, make their life better? How can you be a
On
coach
the
to them?
contrary, this is the reason we can tell
Absolutely.
people how to heal. So yeah, so when we collaborated together, started collaborating. That was
Yes.
2021 when I lost Kamal, my husband, because I got so much of healings from you that
Yes.
now, I feel that if anybody has lost their loved ones, God forbid,
Absolutely.
then I should be there with them to to help them come out of that
Absolutely.
pain, or to feel
Absolutely.
the pain and go through the grief and then come safely out of that. It's a process, right? Because I
Absolutely.
have gone through it so many times. In 2 years span of time, I lost four of my loved ones. So that was something which, you know it remains in me, and whenever I help someone come out of that grief, something in me heals too. So
Absolutely. So beautifully said, Neelam. So beautifully said. And like really, I'm so you are really brave. You chose to sit with that pain and heal it, because it's very important, because we often get stuck in that pain, Like I said, we make that pain our identity. And we don't want to go beyond it. Like I know people, I had spoken to a friend of mine, and who got separated from a partner, and I think eventually they got divorced. And she also told me that, Ashwini, तुम्हें पता नहीं मेरे साथ कितना बुरा हुआ है. And I said, sweetie, I understand, and I'm not making your pain smaller. In fact, I completely empathize with what you went through. And take your time and take, grief, jitna grief karna hai karo. Because grief comes in waves. It doesn't happen that,
yes,
एक point हो गया उसके बाद you recovered. There are like, it's been 6 years that my dad passed away. There are days where
yeah,
I feel that, and I still go and I just howl like a baby. There are days like that. So I won't say that I am completely healed, but at the same time, that pain, I have grown beyond that pain, where I've learned to, you know, grow beyond that. So heal that grief, but don't stay. And this is what my father used to tell me always, and he always told this to me and my sister, that आप जितना दुख करते रहोगे, आपको और दुख फील होता रहेगा.
yes,
Snap out of it and let it heal. Don't numb मत करो उसको, दबा के लिड डाल के मत रखो. Feel that pain. And there are different ways of working with it. We work through Reiki, we work through journaling, we work with angels. Sometimes we just talk about it to a trusted person, or to a mentor. Like, I talk about it to my mentors too. Sometimes I talk about it to my close set of friends, whether it is you, or anyone from our team who is close to me and to whom I connect to. I talk to my teacher so many times. I talk to my family sometimes, to just, all of that. So healing is a journey, and healing happens in spirals. It happens
absolutely,
in waves.
very true.
It happens in waves, right? So, and you don't heal others by being flawless. In fact, you heal others by being present, by being open hearted, and that you're aware that your life is not perfect, but you are still there for others. In fact, healing together is far more powerful than healing alone. So I tell people that, when you're going through a difficult time, don't shut down. I know a lot of my clients, or a lot of even my friends and family, they shut down. They say, I'm going through something, I don't want to talk to anyone. I said, okay, fine. If you don't want to talk to anyone, take that day off, maybe next day off. But third day, just come out, sit with a group and heal, or whomsoever you trust. If you trust me, you can come to me. But if you trust someone else, go to them. But work it out. Don't keep it, work in progress. Because like I always say, if your cupboard is full of old tattered clothes, and even worse, if you kept vegetables in your cupboard, and now they have
Rotten,
पूरा
yeah.
हाँ पूरा rotten हो चुके हैं, it will smell. Unless you take them off and throw them away, you can't
Yeah.
replace that place, right? I remember once, this is a very interesting thing. I was when I was yeah, when I was in London. I remember once I had got, that time I was a non-vegetarian, and I had gotten I think a chicken burger, or a lamb burger, something of that sort, तभी जब मैं खाती थी. एंड आई हैड, वो मुझे बर्गर कुछ अच्छा नहीं लगा था. आई ऑलवेज नो दैट मे बी एट द कोर आई ऑलवेज हैड अ वेजिटेरियन सोल. सो तो मैंने आधा खाया था और मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा. आई थ्रू इट. एंड वन डे आई केम बैक होम फ्रॉम ऑफिस, एंड माई हाउस वॉज स्टिंकिंग, बिकॉज मैंने वो
Mm.
डस्टबिन एम्प्टी नहीं किया था, बिकॉज आई वॉज बिजी इन द वीक. एंड दैट स्मेल वॉज, मतलब मुझे चक्कर ही आ जाता. एंड इट वॉज कोल्ड, इट वॉज -3 और समथिंग. तो मैंने उसी समय वो प्लास्टिक बैग लेके, इट वॉज इन द डस्टबिन, इट वॉज नॉट ओपन, पर फिर भी
Mm.
माई फुल हाउस वॉज थिंकिंग विद दैट वट एवर दैट मीट, रॉटन मीट का जो स्मेल था. तो मैंने वो बैग लिया, नीचे गई, इट वॉज डैम कोल्ड, आई स्टिल वेंट, आई थ्रू दैट अवे. और मैंने कुछ स्प्रे वे मारा मेरे घर में, एंड after 1 or 2 days it was fine. So a lot of times this is what happens with our life. We feel that we have इमोशंस हमने निकाल दिए, लेकिन हम दबा के रखते हैं. दैट कॉजेज दैट इशू. अ टीचर ऑफ माइन हैड थॉट अबाउट समथिंग कॉल्ड एज द वॉल्केनो थियोरी, जिसमें दे से दैट एक जगह पे वॉल्केनो आता है, इसके लिए अगर आप उसको बंद कर लो, द वॉल्केनो द लावा ट्रेवल्स एंड इट इरप्ट्स फ्रॉम सम अदर प्लेस. जस्ट लाइक दैट, if you numb your emotions and if you don't heal them, they will erupt in other place. So please know that, face them, and also understand that healing happens in क्या बोलते हैं, healing happens in group. It happens when you're together, and you are not flawless. None of us are flawless. I'm openly telling you that I have my own set of things which I am dealing with, and definitely with the tools and techniques I'm able to deal with them properly. I'm able to, 10 years ago I couldn't deal with things. When things used to happen to me, I would not know what to do. Now I know what to do, and if I don't know what to do, I still go to a place where I don't know what to do, but I connect to my teachers and they help me heal. So we all are in this journey. There is no one with superior or inferior. The only thing is that because we are experienced and because we are trained to teach people, we can help you heal. But otherwise, all of us are humans. We are living in a human experience.
Very true, very true. And as you said that
Yeah.
healing happens in group, right? It happens collectively. So what it takes it, so it's kind of collective
Yes.
consciousness, right?
Yes. 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 Yes.
So yeah,
You
let's
must have
talk
seen.
about that.
Sure. Neelam, we hear this term, the collective, a lot on healing forums, right? So, what is collective consciousness? We all together are connected. Everyone in this
Hmm.
world is connected. Everything in this universe is connected, which also means the animals, the plant kingdom, the rocks, the crystals, everything is connected, right? Now, collective consciousness also means healing doesn't happen in isolation. In fact, if you must have heard about the Hawaiian modality Ho'oponopono, in that we actually
Yeah,
say that, when someone is going through something, we heal that part of us which is causing that. For example, if I have a client, say the client XYZ, and my client, she lives in, say, Los Angeles, and she connects to me and she tells me, Ashwini, I'm going through this because, people at work are being excessively unkind to me, and my husband is about to lose his job and I don't know what to do. And my husband is suffering, I am suffering, my child gets bullied in school. Can you do a healing for me? Now, when I sit and do Ho'oponopono healing, I don't do forgiveness for her boss or for her, her husband's boss, or for the person in her workplace. I heal that part of me which is causing that, which means I and that person are connected. Okay, and this is so beautiful because someone you do not even know, someone who do not even are aware of, when I heal that part of me, the change happens there. Because at the core we all are connected, because when one person heals, it shifts timelines. Okay, what do you mean by shifts timelines? It changes the whole scape of work. When families heal, communities change. Okay, and when individuals awaken and when they start taking action, the society transforms. And this is something which one of my teachers had again said um, around October time. I was talking to her, and she said that, Ashwini, because of the work which people did in 2012, 13, 14, 15, people started getting benefit of that. So there were more healers in 2017, 18, 19, 20. And because of the now there is, maybe that in 2012, 13, 14 there are 5 people, and in 2020 all of a sudden there are 100 people, and in 2025 there are 10,000 people, and that is how it grows, right? So that's why I say, I don't want people who are just going to come to me for healing sessions. They will say that, Ashwini, I'm coming to you for access bars, or I'm coming to you for angelic healing, crystal healing, or I'm coming to you for say manifestation class. I always tell them it's time you find that power within you. Okay, because I say that I want to create healers. I want independent, conscious individuals who will naturally uplift others, right, by their presence. Um, because see, 1 million healers, when I say that, it's not 1 million healers who create noise. They create coherence. You know what is coherence? That alignment. And coherence changes the world faster than ever any force could, right? Because we all are here for a reason. The moment you understand this is why you're here, and this is the moment you give that to the world. Imagine, I just gave you the Ho'oponopono example. So imagine, Karo, you are doing that, I am doing that, 10 other people are doing that. How much change will happen in the world,
Amazing.
right? So 1 million healers, like I'm saying that
Even the thought of it, it gave me a lot of goosebumps.
it does, in fact, today itself, just before we were recording this episode, and I was creating this entire structure for people to start because I'm deeply driven by this purpose. The only way to stop all the negativity, sorry, all the negative things which are happening in the world is by healing yourself. We don't want to go and heal that person who is causing issues. Okay, it's very easy to point out to, okay, uski wajah se ye ho raha hai, iski wajah se ho raha hai. How many of us do that? It's very easy to do it, right? But the moment we understand that, okay, उसकी वजह से हो रहा है, चलो मानो उसकी वजह से हो रहा है, but what is it that I can do? Because eventually that person and I are connected. Like, this is the bitter truth of life, that when someone says that that person was unkind to me, mean to me, I said that imagine that person is you in another body. How will you react? And they say, chi chi chi, nahi nahi nahi, wo itni buri hai, main to nahi hu. Somewhere, everything is, I always feel there is cause effect, and we are connected to everything and everyone, right? So let's start with us. Let's start with, begin with us, and let's take that to the next level, right?
Amazing.
So,
Amazing. Beautiful. With this beautiful, magical thought, I think, this mission we start from this podcast only.
yes, we start from this podcast because I will always say for all our viewers, if this conversation resonated with you, and if inside your heart you felt, wow, even I want to do that, please know that it is your inner healer awakening, right? And you don't need to figure it all out right now, because right now you may feel, oh, there are so many things going on. ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है, financially ये हो रहा है, emotionally ये हो रहा है, health में ये हो रहा है, parents are aging, children are growing up, ये हो रहा है. I don't know what to do. It's very natural to be overwhelmed. Okay, but you right now, you only need that willingness. Even if you have a slight willingness, yes, you know, this is your calling. Because the reason we are doing this podcast itself is we are building a conscious community of seekers and healers. And we kind
Yeah.
of started with a phase one where I think from 2022 or 2021, I think 2021, we started our uh, tribe, right? Post COVID, we
Yeah.
started our unicorn tribe where, we connected to a small set of group, and we see that people are growing, people are, creating magic, everyone is doing their bit. And from 2020 to, I think, till now, maybe the first phase in which we had a small group of tribe which we began with. We also have the Unicorn University, which is our bigger community. But what is this community for? This, so I have put it itself as 100 Healers 2026. Mission 100 Healers 2026. 2026 में 100 healers we want to have, people who are willing to give their time, energy, invest money, of course, because that is how they will also grow. Because I always say that मैंने अगर आज तक, the amount of money I've invested in the courses which I've done, um, it is so much. It is in, if you think of the amount, I would say that मेरा मुंबई में एक 2 BHK का flat आ जाता. I always say that. And I'm not exaggerating. This is exactly the amount which I've spent
I
till
know
now.
that.
Yeah. And what have I got out of that? What have I got out of that? Today, when things are, like I say, when things go wrong, I can still have peace with that, right? ऐसे नहीं होता है that I don't feel fearful, I don't feel worried, I don't feel angry, I don't feel hurt. But yes, I know how to come back by the grace of my guru, by the blessings of my guru, by the grace of my mentors, and because of the wonderful people who are in my life, genuine people who are in my life. I'm able to bounce back. And that is much more than having anything. I always say that. Because from this space, you can always create. घर तो आप और भी ले सकते हो, पैसे तो आप और भी कमा सकते हो, but peace of mind and the ability to bounce back, the resilience, the power to heal yourself, that is very important. And once you have tasted that, you will not like to go back. That's the reason people keep doing courses, because people want to always feel calm, happy, and and that's why, like, of course, now I also do a lot of courses because I'm a teacher. I need to do certifications, I need to help others with it. Not everyone needs to be a teacher, but to once you are a healer, trust me, it is more value than carrying that latest Louis Vuitton bag, or having the latest car, or having the latest watch, or and I will also say that once you heal yourself and once you get that peace from that space, आप 10 घर और ले सकते हो, आप 10 गाड़ियां और ले सकते हो. Because abundance is also your birthright. Like, don't demonize money all the
Yeah,
time. I always tell
yeah.
people, money को demonize मत करो. लोग money को भी बहुत demonize करते हैं कि नहीं नहीं नहीं, पैसे तो नहीं लेंगे.
People feel that, if they earn more, they will become bad or something bad will happen with them. And
उल्टा
उनके
मैं
ये
तो
थिंकिंग
बोलती
होती है
हूँ,
कि पैसा आने से आप करप्ट हो जाते हो. दिस इज हाउ
उल्टा
पीपल थिंक.
मैं उल्टा बोलती हूँ, अगर आप अच्छे इंसान हो, इट इज योर बर्थ राइट टू अर्न मोर मनी देन द mean and bad people, because then you will put that money in good things. If you ask someone who is a person who really wants to create, like I always say that I would like to have a big office in Mumbai where I can actually, office area mein jaake, I can help people with sound healing and with access bars and with crystal healing. Imagine आपके ऑफिस के next door मेरा ऑफिस है जहाँ पे I have 10 healers, 20 healers working with me who are helping people. Imagine someone just underwent a panic attack in office and they don't know what to do. They just have to go on floor number 11 and go into Unicorn Insight office and book a service, and they feel better after that. Imagine that kind of world. So I always say, if I get a lot of money, that is what I will do. So if you are a good person, you will put that money into good things. If you are a bad person, आप वो पैसा गलत चीजों में डालोगे. But when you have
Yeah.
good money, you will put that money to help people. So as a good person, as a conscious person, as a healer, it's your duty to make sure that you also make money, because then you can, money keeps circulating, right? वो lakshmi maa hai. You can put money in good things. That's where people have pilates studio and yoga studios, and I know people are creating good, there are so many startups which are for vegan food, for conscious food, no sugar drinks, no sugar food. ये सब लोग तभी कर पा रहे हैं when they are putting money in that. I bless them. I myself, I'm a vegetarian. I'm going towards veganism. I'm not able to find a lot of right products for vegan lifestyle. I'm trying to get as much as possible. I'm trying to replace with, all the protein content and everything. And I see that there are people who are doing that. People are, how beautiful is it is that, instead of putting money in slaughterhouses and killing animals and eating them, or, injecting cattle in the wrong manner, and हार्मोन वाला मिल्क जो लोग पी रहे हैं, which is causing diseases. Instead of that, imagine you are putting money into good things. You maybe you own a farm and let the cattle graze, and from that you have milk. I don't mind drinking that milk, because that is how the conscious world is. And that's how your kindness will go at all levels. So I always say that if you are a kind person, please don't stay in victim zone. Please don't be bitter that मेरे साथ ये बुरा कर रहे हैं, मेरे साथ वो बुरे कर रहे हैं, मेरे साथ ये हो रहा है. Take your power back. If you are a good person, if you have kindness in your heart, if you are a pure soul, take your power. Be the leader. Leadership is where you can be a kind and a strong person at the same time. In fact, we
Very
need more kind
true.
people. We need more
Yes.
kind people to be strong. When I say no, I would, for me, my biggest challenge in life was to say no. Today, I say no to people. That is, and 2 घंटा उसके बाद मेरा इधर मेरे दिल में इतना एनर्जी आता है. Oh my God, I said a no. But then I ground myself and I say, yes, I was supposed to say no to someone. It's important for me to have boundaries. That's how I conserve my energy. And like I was just telling this to a friend that there are days we don't talk to each other for weeks, for months, but there is no drama when we meet next time, because we all know that we have life, we have things to do. So I believe that may the kind persons get their strength back. And how to have kind persons come into power, how to have kind persons take charge of everything, because the world is full of people who are unkind and mean. Somehow the picture has been changing now. There are a lot of kind people who have coming into power, is what I'm seeing, and that's where the world is changing. But we need more, right?
Yeah.
And if you, Neelam, if you really ask me, that why are we building this conscious community, I would say that so that people heal in consciousness, they heal together, people don't feel alone, because a lot of people feel very lonely even if they're surrounded by family and friends. And then there are people who are living in different cities and towns, who are living alone. For me, I would like to create this community where uh, we share this common mission, we work towards that mission. And I always say I'm looking for committed people. I'm looking for people who are ready to give at least some time every day to the healing for their own self. That's the later stage, will be when they will do that to the world. But for now, 10
Mm.
minutes for yourself.
Yeah.
Sit with that pain. Okay, 1996 में ऐसे ऐसे हुआ. My teacher shouted at me in front of the whole class, and everyone laughed at me. I felt humiliated. Uske baad, I cannot talk in public. That's what a lot of people say, that. Why am I not able to talk in public? I have still not healed that trauma.
Yeah.
These things may appear very casual, but deep inside our mind is very complicated, right? So heal yourself first. Also know that healing yourself is not selfish. It's service to yourself. When you heal from pain, you change the world.
Absolutely. So beautifully put together.
So we are here to do that. We are here to put these things out in the universe. This year our mission is to work with 100 people, to create 100, minimum 100 healers. एंड द मिशन, सो लाइक ऐसे हीलिंग का मतलब ये नहीं कि सबको रेकी ही सीखनी होगी. सम पीपल कैन हेल्प यू हील बाय कोचिंग. Some people help you heal by, even oracle card reading is a very beautiful way to connect to the divine and heal yourself. Then there is somatic therapy. Then there is dance. There are so many ways. Healing is a huge spectrum, right? And we've talked about, we practice at least 25 plus healing modalities or more,
Yeah.
Neelam, maybe. Yeah,
I
maybe
think
more than
more.
20. Yeah. And when I mean practice, those every class I've attended, I've healed a part of me. And I'm still healing. And I'm learning every day. And the more I learn, Neelam, I realize कि मुझे कुछ भी नहीं आता है. Every time I learn more, I realize that I don't know enough. And this keeps me humble. एवरी टाइम आई फील मुझे बहुत आता है, मुझे कोई ऐसा इंसान मिलता है जिनको इतना आता है कि मुझे लगता है भाई मुझे तो कुछ भी नहीं आता. So this also keeps me humble, and this also makes me aware that the world is full of beautiful people who are waiting to make the world a better place. So if you are someone, if you are watching me and Neelam here, and if you feel guided, we have already created a WhatsApp group for now,
Yeah.
where we will share guidances, practices, and opportunities, where we'll also talk about the kind of courses we will have in the future, which you would wish to learn to heal yourself. Like I said, healing is not random. It's a step-by-step process. Okay. And the core sentiment behind healing is having the awareness, having the consciousness, sitting and being in that sitting and observer position, and having the compassion in such a way that you transmute. See, energy cannot be created, nor it can be destroyed, but it can change
Destroyed.
form, right? Yes. So convert your fears into faith, convert your worries into hopes, right? Convert all your grief into something creative, into love, right? Transmute your anger. Why are you angry? It is because there, most of the reasons why we are angry is there is some unfulfilled want of us, or there is something where you feel that, oh, this was injustice to me, मेरे साथ ये गलत हुआ है. That's why people are angry. But inside of anger there are these deep emotions. And another reason why I tell people to heal is, today there are more people dying of lifestyle diseases than airborne diseases. And in जो बोलते हैं infection से people don't die anymore. People die of lifestyle diseases like diabetes, heart problems, cancer.
All the
That is,
metabolic diseases. Yeah.
yes, this is what people are having right now. Why are those diseases? Why are they there? Because we have unprocessed emotions. Thyroid. So I'm not saying that people are directly dying of thyroid or diabetes. Of course,
But it leads to so many complications that,
it really creates complications, and it makes your life lesser, right? They
yeah,
kind of
we,
disable you for a life.
yeah, you will live a unfulfilled life because you will
Fulfilled
not
life.
be able to eat certain
Absolutely.
kind of food,
Absolutely.
live a certain kind of life because you
But the
have
root
these
cause,
diseases.
yes, but the root cause of these diseases क्या है? मेडिकल साइंस भी नहीं बता पा रही है क्या है.
Unprocessed pain, unprocessed
Unprocessed
pain.
pain, unprocessed emotion, unprocessed grief. Like people are having respiratory issues. What is the cause of respiratory issues? It's not hereditary. It is because grief is running in your family. You think that, एक को respiratory issue हुआ उसके बेटे को क्यों हुआ? Because it's hereditary. No, because the mother passed the grief to son and the son passed to his son, and that's how it is running. So grief healing is the first way to change the respiratory illnesses. For as it comes to liver, a lot of people are suffering from liver issues because liver holds unprocessed anger. Okay, kidneys hold fear and worry. When you are afraid of something, you have to run to the loo, right? That is because kidneys hold it. So all the body parts also hold those emotions. The best way to heal is, there are so many techniques. There is access bars, there is reiki, there is crystal healing. Now people will say that, do these techniques work? You have to keep doing it. It's not a overnight magic formula. आज रेकी किया कल ठीक लगा. I have been practicing reiki for 12 years now,
It's a
right?
continuous practice.
Yes,
It's not
everyday
a one day
practice.
thing. Yeah.
Every day sitting with emotions, every day working with the emotions, every day, it's like, I wear crystals. People say that isse kya ho, isse theek hota hai kya? Crystals will also help you process emotions. Like, sometimes I'm not able to say a no, but when I wear crystals, I worked on myself, but it also helps me take those actions. But actions मुझे ही लेने. मैं ऐसे नहीं बोल सकती कि क्रिस्टल पहना है मैंने अभी ऑटोमेटिकली हो जाएगा, नहीं. If someone puts me in a situation where I have to say yes or a no, I say no. I can't. You know, come today, tomorrow morning, if I have to go for a early, I have a very early morning, and someone has invited me, I politely say no. I say, I'm sorry, I cannot make it. I have a early morning. पहले मैं जाती थी and then I would feel miserable. I would sleep for only 3 hours and then I would feel miserable in the day. I would come back home and have a bad stomach and I would vomit and all of that. I've done all of that in my life. Now I say no. 10 o'clock, 10:30, my sleeping time. I'm done. But it helps you say no. So if you are someone, coming back to our community, I'm sure, all of us are excited about it. Neelam, I'm sure you are excited about it. All our
Yes.
entire, yeah, because this is going to be magical. Uh, we will teach you how to, train those muscles so that you can start healing first yourself, experience healing on yourself. And I'm sure that once you experience it on yourself, initially it's magical. Like I remember just a few weeks ago I gave reiki to one of my friends, and she was having some pain in her body, and she had never experienced reiki before. So she was very curious, and the best part was she was very open to it. And when I gave her the reiki healing, she said that कुछ नहीं, मुझे बस गरम 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 फील हो रहा है. But next day she said that, my pain is 50% gone. Third day she's like, I forgot I had a pain. Fourth day she said क्या था? So, but she was there with an open mind.
Magical.
But then the other thing, next thing she said that, Ashwini, I want to learn this, because I want to use that in my life, because I want to. And I said, the best thing is when you learn yourself, you will not be dependent on me or for that matter, anyone. In fact, and the Reiki is one part of it, right? There are also other therapies. There is also speaking therapy, talk therapy. There is also different ways of healing. So whatever suits, and people ask me which healing is better than the other. Maybe we can talk about that in one of our other podcasts, that what are the all modalities, and which I would say that none of them is better than the other. Each one of them is as good,
Yeah.
but all of us will be drawn to different modalities. And some things will make, like for me, Reiki has always worked. For me, Access Consciousness has always worked. For me, angelic therapy has also always worked. So each to its own. But all of them work and all of them are lovely. I would say एक बार आप उसको taste करोगे ना, जो natural ice cream में कैसे we taste a spoon of it and then we say I want this and I want this and I want this. I'm sure you will also realize how beautifully your life will change. This is especially for a lot of people. I read people saying that I feel very disappointed from life. I feel very dejected from life. I feel कि मेरे साथ कुछ भी सही नहीं हुआ. I feel I'm unlucky. I say that एक बार बस healing करो खुद की, your life will change. And if you're watching and if you're going through something very difficult, I'm right now sending you lots of love and positive energy. Whatever it is, you will overcome it. But please take action. Take those little efforts and don't think of it that, I'm not here to sell my services, right? If I had to sell and only make money, I would be in investment banking and I would be minting money. But the reason I'm here and I'm, putting out these services is because this changed my life. My life became so much better, and I want each one of you to experience how life can be so beautiful. Like, life is beautiful. Okay, and I'm saying this with all conviction. I'm saying it from my heart. No matter, we all have gone through difficult times. We have gone through losses, right?
Yeah.
But I will still say that life is beautiful, and I want each one
Yes.
of you to experience that. So when I mean 100 healers by 2026, by December 2026, I want 100 people to just say that, Ashwini, life is beautiful. And with that beautiful note, I would like to conclude here. So, Neelam, thank you for holding this space. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
asking those questions.
Thank
And
you for providing me this opportunity to do it
thank you.
with you.
Thank you. I'm so
Thank
blessed
you.
to have you. And, I always say that me and I'm incomplete without my tribe of my women. I call them Shakti Sena. This is exactly how my tribe is. Each one of them are power packed women. We have most women in our team. And that's why we call them Shakti Sena. And without, I always say you bring this beautiful energy. So thank you for that. And
All
also,
gratitude to you for
thank you.
creating this platform.
Thank you. Thank you. And everyone who is listening, thank you for choosing awareness. Thank you for watching this. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please do. Share it with family, share it with friends, share it with everyone. Yeah, we are here to blast this knowledge to the world. And, I just feel like close your eyes, send light to the world, and when that light passes through every eye, visualize that flowers start blooming. जो दिखाते हैं, जब कृष्ण भगवान का जन्म हुआ था, flowers started blooming and bees started flying and butterflies came in and everyone was happy. I wish that we create that golden future, just like our teacher Diana Cooper says. I hope we do our little bit to create that golden future. Thank you, Neelam, and thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. And thank you from the Unicorns podcast. We will see you in the next episode. Till then, have a lovely, lovely, gorgeous day and love, light, magic to everyone. Bye
Thank you. Thank you,
bye.
Dr. Ashwini. Thank you.
Thank you, Neelam. Bye.